that the producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
First things first, Rachel Zegler is an actress who totally blew up a few years ago. She starred in West Side Story, this awesome musical movie with singing, dancing, and tons of drama. People were obsessed with her. She even won a Golden Globe, which is like getting an A+ on the biggest test ever for actors. Because she was so amazing, Disney said, hey, you'd be perfect to play Snow White in our new live-action movie. You know how Disney's been remaking their old cartoons, like The Lion King with real lions or Cinderella with real people? This was next on the list. Snow White isn't just any movie, though. It's special because it was Disney's very first animated film back in 1937. Way before your grandparents were even born.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Everyone thought Rachel was going to crush it and become a massive star. She was on her way to being the next big thing in Hollywood. But spoiler alert, things went way off track. Let's unpack how it all fell apart. The trouble begins. Rachel says some stuff. Okay, here's where the drama kicks off. Before the movie even hit theaters, Rachel did some interviews about her role as Snow White. She said stuff that got people super upset. Like, she called the original Snow White cartoon weird and said the prince was basically a stalker who creeped around after Snow White. She also said her version of Snow White wouldn't be all mushy about love or waiting for a prince to save her. She'd be a strong leader instead. Now some people were like, cool, a tough princess. But tons of others, they were not happy. The original Snow White is a classic. People grew up watching it, singing the songs, and loving the sweet fairy tale vibes. To them, it felt like Rachel was dissing something they really cared about. Imagine if someone said your favorite video game character, like Mario or Pikachu, was dumb because they jump around too much. You'd be like, hold up, that's my fave. That's exactly how fans felt, only way bigger because Snow White has millions of fans across the world. It's like showing off your cool new toy at school and someone says, that's so lame. It stings, right? Well, Rachel's comments stung a lot of people, and the internet started buzzing with angry vibes. The drama was just getting warmed up. The viral video that blew everything up. Fast forward a bit. After the movie came out, Rachel made things way worse. She posted this video from her bedroom, looking straight into the camera, and said something like, I know people send me hate and even death threats, but guess what? They still show up to watch my movies. She was trying to clap back at the haters and sound all tough, like, you can't stop me. But instead of looking cool, it was like she accidentally kicked a beehive. That video went viral. That's when something spreads online crazy fast, like a meme of a skateboarding dog. People on TikTok, Twitter, and everywhere else started chopping it up into little clips. They added funny reactions like, oh, Rachel, what are you even saying? Some made skits pretending to be her with dramatic hair flips and silly voices. Hashtags like #snowflop and #Rachel rant started trending, and suddenly it was all anyone could talk about. Instead of shutting down the hate, she gave her haters a giant megaphone to roast her even more. Big mistake. Think of it like spilling chocolate milk on your shirt at lunch. You try to wipe it off, but you smear it everywhere, and now everyone's laughing. That's what Rachel did, but in front of millions of people online. Oof, Snow White flops, like really bad. Now let's talk about the movie itself. Disney put everything into Snow White. They spent $250 million making it. That's so much money. You could buy like 50 million large pizzas or a gazillion video games. They expected it to be a huge hit like all their other remakes. But when it came out, it only made $45 million in its first weekend in the US. That might sound like a lot to us, but for Disney, it's a disaster. It's like if you worked all weekend on a school project, posted it online, and only got 3 likes. You'd feel crushed, right? Disney felt that times a million. Compared to the Little Mermaid remake, it made $95 million in its first weekend, more than double. So Snow White was a flop, which means it bombed big time in movie language. It didn't even come close to what people thought it'd do. Fans stayed away in droves, and some theaters stopped showing it after just 1 week. Normally, Disney movies stick around forever. Think Frozen or Moana, but this one? It was like, bye-bye, see you never. The numbers showed that all the drama was seriously hurting the movie. People weren't just mad, they were done. Super awkward Oscars moment. Things got even weirder when Rachel showed up at the Oscars with her co-star, Gal Gadot. You know Gal, she's Wonder Woman, aka the coolest superhero ever. The Oscars are this massive award show for movies. It's like the Super Bowl, but instead of football, it's all about actors and filmmakers getting shiny trophies called Oscars. Rachel and Gal were supposed to walk the red carpet together, smiling and showing off how great the Snow White team was, but, it did not go like that. Pictures and videos from the night were so awkward. Gal barely looked at Rachel. She stood there all stiff, like she'd rather be anywhere else. It was like when you're paired up with someone in gym class you don't vibe with and everyone can tell you're not friends. Fans online were like, whoa, Gal's not feeling this. Some even said she was trying to avoid the Snow White drama altogether. It was supposed to be a big win for Rachel, a chance to look awesome again, but it turned into another cringe moment. It's like the universe said, nope, not today. Why were people so mad? Let's break it down. So why did this turn into such a huge mess? It wasn't just the movie flopping, it was how Rachel handled everything. In her interviews, she came off super confident, like too much. She kept saying her Snow White was better than the original. And when people got mad, she didn't seem to care. After the movie tanked, instead of saying, oops, my bad, she doubled down and acted like she was still right. That made fans feel like she didn't get why they were upset, or worse, that she didn't care. The original Snow White fans felt attacked. Parents said, no way I'm taking my kids to this. Even grandparents hopped on TikTok saying stuff like, I loved the 1937 version. Rachel's out of line. It wasn't just random trolls. Regular Disney fans were over it. They called her smug, acting like she's better than everyone, and entitled, thinking she deserves stuff she didn't earn. It's like if you bragged about winning a race, tripped at the start, and then said, well, I'm still the best. People would roll their eyes, and that's what happened here. Rachel's career is in trouble. Here's the serious part. Hollywood runs on people liking you. If fans love you, you get tons of movies. If they don't, you're in trouble. It's like being the captain of a sports team. If you mess up a big game, people might pick someone else next time. Right now, Rachel's career is shaky. The Snow White flop and all the drama have studios freaking out. Some insiders say they're not sure they want her in their next projects. Her name might scare fans away instead of bringing them in. It's wild because after West Side Story, she was the girl to watch. Now, she's a warning sign for other actors. Don't do this. Her team's trying to fix it. Maybe some chill interviews or a big apology, but Hollywood doesn't wait around. She's got to figure this out fast, or she might get left behind. What could Rachel have done differently? Okay, let's play problem solver. What could Rachel have done to avoid this mess? For one, she could have watched her words. If she wanted a modern Snow White, cool, but she didn't have to trash the original. She could have said, I love the classic and I'm adding my own spin. That way, fans wouldn't feel dissed. When the movie flopped, she could have listened to people instead of getting defensive. Maybe even said, I'm sorry I upset you guys. It's like when you accidentally hurt a friend's feelings. You apologize and fix it, right? Rachel skipped that step, and now she's stuck. She could also try some fun ideas to win people back, like posting a goofy video singing a Snow White song or teaming up with fans to talk about what they love. Kids like us love when people try to make things right. It shows she's not just about arguing, the big lesson for all of us. Rachel's story teaches us something big. Be careful what you say about stuff people love. If you mess up, listen to why they're mad instead of fighting back. She tried to make Snow White her own, but it felt like she didn't respect the original. Then, when it all went wrong, she kept going, and it turned into a disaster. Some people call her one of Hollywood's biggest flops lately. Not just for the movie, but for how fast she went from star to drama queen. It's kind of a bummer. She had so much going for her. What's next for Rachel? Her team's in panic mode, trying to save her vibe. Maybe she'll do some low-key interviews, take a break, or even say sorry for real. Fans decide who gets a second chance. If they show up to her next movie, she's golden. If not, tough luck. Hollywood loves a comeback, so Rachel's got a shot if she plays it smart. What do you think? Should she apologize or just chill for a bit? Let me know. Let's wrap this up. All right, fam, that's the insane tale of Rachel Zegler and the Snow White meltdown. From big dreams to viral chaos, it's been a roller coaster. Can she bounce back, or is she done? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Like this, smash that like button, and subscribe for more drama breakdowns. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.